Good evening, everyone. It's Sherry Donnelly again, and I'm here to continue my talk on corporations. Um, Spent this past week getting things organized in the new apartment, got pictures hung, got things organized, so feeling more like home now. So what we're going to talk about today is some advantages and disadvantages of starting a corporation. I'm going to share my screen, and then I'm going to go to the slide. Okay, so some advantages of starting your own corporation. You can run the business out of your home if it's small. So you don't have to go out and rent an office space if you don't want. And because you can run it out of your home, you can claim home expenses for your home office. So you claim a percentage of your floor space that you use for office, and then you can take that same percentage and apply it to your mortgage, the interest on your mortgage, your rent, your utilities, your cell phone, insurance, etc. Okay, another advantage is the liability for the owner is limited to the investment in the company. So if you invest $100, then the liability that you have is $100. So if the corporation went bankrupt, lose whatever money you invested in the company. Right, the business is sustainable indefinitely. The business is an entity of its own. It is separate from you and from any of the owners. So it can be sustained indefinitely. And you can then change ownership and sell the shares so that you don't always have to be the owner. Now, another advantage is that it's taxed at corporate tax. What this means is that for a small business, it doesn't matter if you make $2 or $200,000, the percentage of the tax rate is going to stay the same. Unlike your personal taxes, where the more you make, the higher the percentage that you're taxed. Okay, and the corporate tax rate for a small business, Canadian-controlled small business, is effectively about 11.3%, which is quite a bit lower than the tax rate for personal taxes. So some of the disadvantages of starting a corporation. It's expensive to set up the corporation and to register it. It costs $500 to go get the name searched to make sure that you're not in conflict with any other corporation, and then to actually register the corporation. The accounting for the business is more complicated for a corporation than it is a sole proprietorship. You have to make sure that you have complete accounting for the business, balance sheet, income statement. Those have to be filed with the CRA each year, as well as with the provincial government, that you are still, to show that you are still in business. Tax returns are also more expensive and more complicated to file. The tax return for a corporation, just the software to do one return is over $200. So when you are getting your taxes done, that's the base amount just for the software, never mind any of the time of the accountant that's putting it all together. And it's a lot more complicated, so it takes a lot more time to put together. So you know, the cost of getting your taxes done for a corporation are quite a bit more than for personal taxes. The other last thing is that there are more licenses and permits required for a corporation than there is a sole proprietorship. When you start checking into permits and licenses, which, by the way, is a subject that I'm going to be talking about next week, you'll find that the regulations for a corporation are a lot more extensive than for a personal or a sole proprietorship. So you need to take that into account as well. So the GST for a corporation is the same as for an individual. If you have revenue over $30,000 in the year, you have to charge GST, and then you have to remit it to the CRA on a regular basis. To apply for the GST, HST number, you need to go to the CRA website, and you can just follow their forms and be able to apply for a GST number. Okay, that's all that I have for today. Just wanted to remind you that you can see the previous videos. If you go to www.sherrydonnelly.com, you will go to a Facebook page. You sign into the Facebook page and you will be able to see all of the videos that I've prepared in the past. And I think that there's getting to be a fair number of videos that I have prepared now. I think that there's 10 or 12. For anything from, you know, how to apply for a CRA account to how to account for GST and the different methods. So if you feel like there's some things that you need to know about, check out the video library and you may find the answers there. Or stay tuned, and I will be doing this weekly, so I'll come up with some more videos to show you. All right, well, thanks very much for tuning in, and I will see you next week to talk about permits and licenses. Bye now.